again, everyone. So I'm going to be answering the questions that were sent to me, and so the first one I wanted to answer was what inspired you to write about this time period? So what inspired me to write about this time period was just a bunch of circumstances that happened near my cottage in Manitoba, unlike Winnipeg. I, uh, I met a lot of the neighbors and started introducing myself and everything. And then when we just came around the subject of where are you from and this and that, and I found out that almost everybody in that area had Icelandic in them, native in them, and well, not everybody had native, but some people did, and some people also had Ukrainian in them as well. And but lots of people had as Icelandic in them, even if it was 1/8 or 1/4. It was in them, right? It was in their DNA. So I and then I learned about the Icelandic festival. Well, I kind of always knew it happened, but every year, but I didn't really know the background of the story. Well, um, one hot summer day when I was with my kids, with my boys, my younger boy, he said to me, "Well, Mom, I'm bored. Like, let's do something. Why don't we go check out that museum in Gimli?" Oh, I'm like, "So you mean the New Iceland Museum?" And he said, "Yeah." So I was like, "Okay, well, whatever. Let's go." Right? And Gimli's a pretty small town. Um, so we went to the museum, and I walked in, and we paid our admission and everything, and I was overwhelmed. I don't even have words to describe the feeling that I felt when I walked into that museum. Um, I just couldn't believe that this story of the Icelanders is not some big, huge blockbuster movie. Like, I just couldn't believe what they went through. And then, honestly, the story didn't come to me right away. The characters didn't develop right away. So, and what happened was it stuck in the back of my head. You know how things that really affect you, that just sticks in the back of your head. And so then it took about 2 or 3 years, and I just kept thinking about all of these people there, and how they are direct descendants of these Icelanders, and then how their heritage was mixed with other people that arrived there, and so on. And so then I just started naturally researching things when, Googling things on the internet when I was bored at work. And, and then I learned about the epidemic that happened there. And I had shivers run down my spine. And I had an epiphany. And the epiphany was, this is the story you need to write, Angela. So I feel very passionate about this story because of that. So that's my answer. The next question is did any character traits come from a real person in my own life? And that's actually a question that is asked of me a lot. I have written other stuff as well. I've written poetry and I've written other books and stuff. But curiously enough, for me, the answer is no. I have a very vivid imagination, and if I told you some of my dreams, you would just be like, wow, where did you come with that? Where did you come up with that? So my characters and my character traits and everything, they come from my imagination strictly. I can't really explain it, they just do. I would say that sometimes maybe my character traits come from people that I would like to meet, right? Really strong people, really people with a lot of determination and respect and so on. And maybe some of those traits come from me as well, because I am a strong person as well. So I would say no, they don't come from anybody I know. It is strictly from my imagination, and I hope that doesn't disappoint you. But yeah, I have a very vivid imagination. What was the emotional process of writing this book like? The simplest word I can use for that, to answer that question, is a roller coaster. I felt like I was on a roller coaster. Every time I wrote, every time I committed to finishing that chapter or going to New York City or editing or everything. I cried a lot when I wrote the book. I had tears of joy, I had tears of sadness, I had tears of triumph. I bled into this book, and it was very emotional roller coaster for me. But you know what? I'm so glad I did it, and I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. Next question is what kind of research did you do on the time period? Actually, I'm just going to grab the book. Just hold on, and so you can see the book that I actually used. So I bought this book at the Gimli Museum, and I primarily used this book for my research. It's one of the best books in the time period, in the area, and the most accurate, because it is 1875. It's hard to be 100% accurate back then, but this is the most accurate book regarding that period. And also, I did use the museum as well. I went there, I think, four or five times, and the pictures and the exhibits, they were just amazing. They were, and they even had a film about it. And for whatever reason, it took me. It grabbed me, and it wouldn't let me go. The events that the Icelanders went through. And what is your book about? So, because I've already explained a lot of things about the book through the other questions, I'm going to answer this question a little bit more broadly. So, what my book is about is never giving up. And everybody has hard things in their life that happens. God knows I have. I've had a very difficult life in certain portions of my life, and other parts of my life were really wonderful. But if I never got through those really difficult parts, I wouldn't be here. And I wouldn't be able to inspire other people. I wouldn't be able to be a good member of society and help other people realize that this is life. You know, when life isn't always good. Life isn't always about pretty things and roses and parties and so on. Sometimes it sucks, right? But you know what? Resilience and perseverance is what will prove to you in the end that life is worth living, and life is awesome, because around the corner of all those obstacles that you experience is a beautiful sunset. And I really believe that. And that's what my book is about. And I really hope that I can, I really hope that I can affect other people with this message. And yeah, and thank you guys so much for joining me. So this is the end of my book launch. So book 2 is coming out, the sequel to this book. I'm still writing it right now. I am almost finished though. I'm very close to being finished. And so it's going to be slated for a book launch for September, October, November, somewhere around there. I am going to do a pre-sale order for the book. It is the continuation of The Strong Among Us, so so if you want to pre-order it, I am going to be sorry. All right, there we go. So I am going to be putting a pre-order probably in about a month or two, and probably in about a month. And yeah, so then and hopefully I can actually do a proper book launch, and I'm thinking of doing a book signings in 1 or 2 cities in Canada, and I was thinking about New York City in the States. Yeah, so I will be posting all that stuff on my website when I get the dates and the times down, and of course it all depends on COVID and how this situation develops as well. But if I can't, I'll just do another YouTube book launch, and it's awesome anyways, right? So it's cool. Okay, so yeah, so thank you for joining me, and you guys are awesome, and I love you guys, and take care, stay safe, bye bye.